So I finally had the mental fortitude to fix one of the problems I've been having with my computer, and that is every fucking time I leave the thing alone, the fan starts going crazy. So I'm thinking to myself, well, wait a minute, that could be like malware. That could be something that's like not supposed to be running. That's like, it's clearly doing some sort of processing, right? So I went to the performance monitor panel in Windows 8, and then I went to my steps recorder so that no matter what I did to repair it or after that point, it would be recorded. I was too lazy because I wasn't looking to do a fresh restore to set up like a shadow partition, like like restore point or anything like that. Like that's like rstrui.exe. We don't need that. So I loaded up Performance Monitor and I started looking at the SVC host files, clicking on and off, and I'm like, that's a lot. Like that. And there's also this thing called the PID, which shows like which thing it is in its own list of like things. Like it creates a list and then it tells you what number the thing is within that list. So if it says number 4488, that you could be like, oh, that matches up to like this one. But if it says like 12, then you're like, okay, it matches up to this one. And some will create their own, and then you can try to see which one's doing which activity through which ports to see which things are activating. So I figured it out that it's Chrome. I mean, that's not surprising. Like Chrome is basically malware. So Chrome is all the tabs I have opened all the time, pinging all this code that's fucking sending from websites, fucking updating. It's bullshit, right? I keep a shit ton of tabs open, like really bad practice, but like I have ADHD and I don't really give a fuck. I don't care. So, but it shouldn't be that much processing power, right? Like it should just be like a couple packets sent here or there. And like that's annoying because it's like, it's spying, but it doesn't like actually fuck with the hardware. So I noticed that after a couple minutes, the fan would like kick into high gear. So I started thinking, well, what's doing that? So I stood there and I watched, and it came up as like MSMN or like MNMS MVR, something like that, something. And I looked it up and I was like, what the fuck is it going to be? Is it going to be malware? And it turns out that it's actually the opposite of malware. It's the Windows Defender system. And it all clicked. I was like, no shit. No wonder it's taking so much processing power. It's doing antivirus stuff. So every single packet that Chrome sends, it's cloning its own service host thing for that, doing whatever that it does to see whatever that it does, computing whether or not it's a virus, and then deciding to allow it. But it does that a couple hundred fucking times for all the data that it's constantly getting pinged with, and it's just pointless because like it's not stopping any viruses. So I went and I changed it to active mode, which I don't know how that got enabled. Um, I changed it from active mode into do fucking nothing, stop fucking activating, don't boot up on startup mode, and then I actually blocked its executable from booting up when I went into you know and I also know that because like I'm not like a fucking computer expert. Like I'm literally just some fucking halfway kid who's like trying to figure out like what's the smartest way that I can figure out why my computer's making noise. And it took me like a month to figure that out. It's because like I thought it was malware, but it's not. It's malware detection, which is doing the same shit that malware does. Scans everything and sends it off to God knows what server. Oh, we're not spying on you. FBI is in there like, yo, we are the antivirus. Don't uninstall us. Oh shit! Does anyone else remember this show? Oh shit! I'm about to watch the first episode of this because I have some free time today.
University, they want you to translate parchments. Okay, one more thing.
Oh yeah, Chucky. So it's like the intellectual version of Joe Rogan, I guess. Maybe that's wrong. I mean, that's just my very first impression. His name is Lex Fridman. He's nothing like. I don't know if I'm saying that way. Maybe Friedman, but it's spelled Fridman. Lex Lex. So Lex Fridman. He's got almost 3 million subscribers on YouTube, and like he does really good interviews, like really good interviews with just like a ton of different really great people. So I've been watching some of that, but I've just been reading through the because I always get involved in trans drama, like that's like the niche, right? So I was reading about like, well, what did Oda Block say? Like personally, I don't fucking care what like some random Twitch streamer that does OSRS content like it's popping up in my feed because like the dude has been mad toxic for like 2 years, and I've been wondering like how much of that is a persona like and just like a shtick versus how much of that is like the dude is actually toxic, and like we're getting our answer. Like to me, I can't tell the difference just by looking about the look at this, look at the difference. Like I have no idea what is different here on Kick. Like I'm floored, I'm flabbergasted, right? So they got some IRL streamers. Let's see, they even call it IRL. Let's click it. all right, they got this, oh, the same categories, oh, surprise, oh, bunch of viewers, but like, all right, this is 21,000 people allegedly. So I guess Destiny allegedly is streaming on here. Who knows how much he's getting? Thinking to myself, why am I not on Kick? Where's my fucking Kick account? Like, why? Like, I don't give a fuck about some terms of service on some, like, oh, you said some transphobic shit, you're gonna get mad. Fuck you, some transphobic shit. If I want to sit here on YouTube, and you can do this, and make hate speech and say that trans women are not real women, they're transgender women, or if I, alternatively, if I want to go full send radicalist turf, and I want to say that trans identifying men can try to be whatever, like, I can do it. If I want to say that they're transformers or transgenerates or any of the other right-wing shtick slurs, basically there is a line, right? You can't threaten violence. You can't be like, I'm gonna blankety blank to the yadity who's, like, I'm gonna take all the yadity blahs and I'm gonna do xity y and z to them. You can't be like that. You can't do that, right? Like, that's a little bit further than the terms of service will allow for. I don't know what Kick will allow for. I'm not an extreme tuber. I'm not like a fringe TOS tuber. I'm definitely psychosis tuber, but I'm not the type that is like lacking in self-sentience, I guess. Like, I'm aware of the fact that I'm batshit crazy, and I want to harness that power, right? Because I think that madness is very profitable, and I'm definitely a capitalist. We'll be right back after this. Thanks for joining. Assume that Destiny would not have had the staying power that he has if he was anything more right than conservative. My assumption is actually that he's probably closer to communist and is therefore popular, but he is watching this. So this is, for those who don't know, this is the recent video by ContraPoints, which I will probably not put a response to because I don't really care that much. But she's trans, and she's talking about trans issues, and so this guy Destiny is watching trans issues. I do remember seeing him get involved in a debate, and I don't remember coming away from it thinking he was a bigot. Usually that means that they're in direct allyship.
She's walked into an area where it's like, oh yeah, like in the past the way that we did this was through civil war, so let's like keep it, like, I don't know, I find this video like less than convincing.
See what I'm holding in my hand? This is a high caliber idea that I picked off the polite discussion field of Manassas. Do you people think that American schools were integrated because all the white people in the South...
So she wants a civil war? Is that what he's suggesting? This whole thing is muddled as fuck. This video is so fucking bad. Well, even so, here's the thing. Even if this is a bunch of right-wingers, they're still getting exposed to this. Why should the trans movement really win a civil war? Well, because we're morally justified. That'll help us. God's on our side.
That consensus evolved organically when it just didn't. And then people get the impression...
Oh, these are baby oak leaves. This is an oak tree. It's not really a baby oak tree, but it's like a relatively new oak tree, like a decade or so. And then you can see what they turn into. These are all last year's. And then this is Mullen. This one is Waldstinia fragaroides. What did you say? It's the false barren strawberry? It's a false barren strawberry. And it is blooming in the yard because my brother planted it. So today is April 19th, 2023. And we have a false barren strawberry. You can see it looks a lot like strawberry would. But the flowers are obviously yellow. I guess some could be yellow, but the ones I know of are white. But then also the leaf is like, it's 3, but yeah, it's not quite a strawberry. It looks like it though. Strawberries are not round cut, they're sharp cut. These are mating. I forget exactly what they're called, but yeah, they're connected. There's a bunch of them. Here's one. So I'm trying not to step on them. Vinca's growing in the garden. Oh well, it's growing everywhere. (4/20, 2023), and yeah, you can see it's still leafing. So this is from the tree. I'm not actually sure exactly what type of tree it is, but yeah, this is like what it's doing, and the whole tree is doing it. This obviously fell. This is like a, you know, it's it broke off the greater trunk right there, and it was quite a big limb. You know, I mean, this is like towards the base of it. So it makes sense that there's still enough nutrients just in the trunk here to kind of, you know, I mean, and it'll be interesting to see, you know, how long that continues, because, you know, I mean, obviously, you know, I mean, the obvious. But yeah, there's this tree. Hopefully this doesn't get skeletonized, but this is Virginia creeper, and it's actually one of, if not my favorite plants. I really like it. It looks kind of like it gets confused for poison ivy because it's got that sheen to it and kind of the same color, but obviously you can see that it's got 3, but sometimes it grows, or it's got 5. Yeah, sometimes it grows 3 though, but usually it's 5. That's how you can tell it apart. And it also isn't to be confused with cinquefoil. I like these little things. They're like little like twisty pulley things. These are probably from last year. I should go shave my face, but I don't really want to. I'll grow a beard, whatever. So I'm talking to my like, it sucks to say it this way. Like, I'm talking to my female friend, but they're like coming to the realization that they're probably trans, which, like, I think we've both known since we met each other, but that was like 4 full years ago. So they're still like in denial and just kind of freaking out. They're turning like 27 soon. And you know, it's like, it's the same reason why I didn't transition. It's like, well, I'm not a lesbian, like, I'm just a very, very straight man with a lot of emotions. So they're having the same conundrum, because they're like, well, one, I don't want to be a vagina boy. That's not a real thing. And I'm like, boy, do I get that. I don't want to be a dick girl. So it's just this funny like quirk of nature. But they have this partner, former ex-partner. Basically, I'll give you the rundown. So like, the equivalent of their ex-boyfriend is calling them up and is like, oh my god, like, my financial situation just like blew apart, and like, I can't go to this concert I really wanted to go to. I'm like, yo, don't become their pocketbook. Don't do it.